welcome to the First and 20 NFL podcast. Today, I'm joined by a very legendary guest. His name is Andrew Scites, and he is a co-creator of the MoreJStu Studios channel on YouTube. Andrew, why don't you give us some of your famous credentials?
Famous credentials?
Yes.
Well, I've been a lifelong Broncos fan. I once played flag football, and I am a couch potato. So naturally, this is my realm. So
Yeah. Andrew is actually from the state of Colorado, and I assume that you became a Broncos fan from that historic run by the Broncos back in the 2000s when they had John Elway.
oh yeah. I remember watching the Broncos win their Super Bowl in 98, 99, when I was like a little kid. So ever since then, yeah, I've been a big fan. And my dad's a big football fan, so he's a Bengals fan actually. So we just watched the Broncos-Bengals game on Sunday. That's a tradition for us. Anytime they play, get together and watch that game.
Nice. So today we will be doing a segment called Pretender or Contender. I have Andrew straight on the line just for this one segment, all the way 2,000 miles west of here. All right? So we have 6 teams that we're going to go over, and we're going to talk about whether we think that they're going to either make the playoffs, whether we think that they're going to be in the playoffs, whether we think that they're going to have a sustainable run in the playoffs, and if we think that they can make a run at the Super Bowl. All right? So are you ready, contestant number 1?
Let's do this.
Okay, so our first team is the 9-3 Texans, led by Deshaun Watson. Andrew, I will pose you this question: are they a pretender or a contender?
I think the Texans, they're not pretending. I mean, they got talent on both sides of the ball there. I think they're definitely going to make the playoffs for sure. And now
Yeah,
the question
they have to,
is,
right? The Colts
do they win the first playoff game? I think they can.
So you were saying that they are a pretender. No, you're saying that they are a contender just based on the fact that you think they'll win round 1.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think 'cause they've been in a good spot for a while. Since last year, they lost Watson, so getting him back has been like key to what they're doing. But they did narrowly escape with a victory against the Broncos because of a missed field goal. So all of
I
this
remember that
went for
one.
nothing if they would have just made a field goal.
Exactly. That 9-game win streak would be for naught right now, and we would be talking about how the Colts could make a run at them. So the Texans are on a 9-game win streak right now. They're led by Deshaun Watson and that vaunted defense of J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney. I'm not sure if I'm sold on them. I know they're going to make the playoffs, but that they're in the time where they're definitely going to be playing that classic Saturday night wild card game, as you know, all those years against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they're on a 9-game win streak, but I'm going to label them as a pretender just because Deshaun Watson's only averaging 180 yards a game, pretty much passing, and they're from the AFC South, which has historically been one of the weaker conferences. So I don't think they may win Week 1. Okay, they may win Week 1 against that 5 seed, but I'm not going to say that they are going to come anywhere near Atlanta for Super Bowl 53. Okay?
Gotcha.
All right. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears. My co-host last week actually labeled these guys as his Super Bowl pick, Andrew.
No.
Yes, he picked Seahawks versus Bears. Can you believe it?
No, I can't believe that.
So, do you want to go first for this one?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay. So we have Khalil Mack, Chicago Bears. Are they a contender or pretender in the NFC North?
I think they're definitely exceeding expectations, but I'm really not that fond of the Bears. I don't think they're that good, honestly. I mean, Trubisky, he got injured, but it doesn't appear to be serious. So I think he's coming. He's probably gonna be back next week.
Is he a game changer? Is he that big of an upgrade from Chase Daniels?
From Chase Daniels, yes,
Okay.
but I wouldn't say he's like like a Tom Brady caliber. But I don't know. I just Khalil Mack, he's a good player, like one of the best like defenders. But think like I think they're just a little overhyped right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. So, what do you think Mr. Trubisky's max ceiling is?
Mm. In terms of what?
In terms of quarterback elite status, is he better than Joe Flacco? Use Joe Flacco as the standard. He can be the Mendoza line.
Okay. Let's see. Joe Flacco. Joe, I'd say he's better than what Joe is now, but maybe
Oh,
he was, about about Joe status, the Joe of a couple years ago.
okay.
I don't see too much of Mitch, like his power.
All right. So, you are not a fan of Mitch. You think that he's good enough. So, are
Yeah.
the Bears a pretender or contender?
They're pretending right now.
Okay, they're pretending. So, do you think that they'll get out of the first round?
No.
Okay, so you're going to say no. I am also with you. I've historically on this podcast not been a fan of the Bears. I do not think that they'll come. I think that they have to make the playoffs at this point. Out of the Bears and the Vikings and the Packers, I think that they're the team that's going to be in. Defense does win championships, and Khalil Mack is a wrecking ball behind
Mm.
the line. But I do not think Mr. Trubisky's in the top 25 of quarterbacks. He's not consistent enough for me. He
Yeah.
goes games where he only throws like 100 yards and they only use him for 20 passes. He's basically a system quarterback. If he can be like an Alex Smith for them, I think that's their best case scenario. Um, but so I'm a little bit like the soup Nazi right now. I'm gonna say that they are pretenders. So that's 0 for 2 for me and 1 for 1 for you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys. They are 7-5 right now. They're currently leading the NFC East, and next week they go up against my Philadelphia Eagles for taking the crown of the division for now. So, Andrew, are the Cowboys pretender or contender?
The Cowboys. I'm still not like sold on them. I mean, they've lost a lot of people on the offensive line. Um, I don't know. They're just not living up to the expectations. I mean, a couple years ago, Dak looked amazing, and now he's still like I feel like he's going backwards. Elliott, he's okay. He's still doing some stuff, but not like jumping off the page. I just if they make the playoffs, I don't think they'll make it past the first round.
All right. Are they your pick out of the NFC East?
I would say the Eagles have a better
Yes.
chance than the
Yes.
Cowboys,
Thank you.
but definitely better than the Redskins.
Yeah, the Redskins are free falling right now, led by the butt. You're your man, the butt fumble. You have proclaimed him as such.
The
The
Buffalo. Wait,
Yeah, Mark
is he in
Sanchez
town?
came. Yeah, Mark Sanchez is now their current quarterback there after signing him a week ago. Colt McCoy's out for the year.
Ah, I saw
Yes.
something on ESPN saying they were considering Kaepernick.
Yeah, that's what I heard, but it's looking like they don't want to deal with the circus, so that's kind of indicating that they're basically out on this year, that they'd rather not have to deal with the media than have a chance of winning.
They'd rather give Butt Fumble a chance.
They'd rather
No.
give Butt Fumble, yeah. Were you concussed, by the way, when you saw him at training camp? Did he hit you with any stray footballs? Are you okay?
Yeah, I think I'll be okay. I'm just kind of like emotionally scarred.
Okay. So Cowboys, yes, I'm gonna go 0 for 3 right now. We'll speed this up a little bit. I'm out on the Cowboys. I'm an Eagles fan. How can I go with the Cowboys? Since you're from Colorado, what is the Cowboys to Broncos ratio? Are the Cowboys the second highest touted team? Because I saw a lot of Cowboy fans when I was out there.
There are quite a bit of Cowboys fans, but I mean, there's a handful of them really.
All right. Well, so are they the second highest like team? Because that kind of stuff fascinates me about NFL fandom. Because where I live, it's probably like 55% Giants, 40% Bills, and like 5% Jets.
Hmm. I would say there's actually probably a good amount of Raiders fans just because I don't know why, honestly. But yeah, Broncos, Raiders. Yeah, I know a couple Cowboys fans, but I'd say maybe they're third.
Okay, very interesting. All right, so next up we got three, maybe four teams left. We have a kicker team at the end, just for you, Andrew.
Oh.
Um, we have the LA Chargers. Are they a pretender or a contender? They just came off a big win against the Steelers last Sunday night.
Hmm.
Are you a Philip Rivers guy?
I don't. Well, I'm. I. It's just hard to say. He's just like such an interesting quarterback. Like just going to even to his throwing style, the sidearm rocket. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm like, I don't know. Is this guy good? I'm not sure, but it's hard to say because yeah, Broncos fan. He's in our division, but they do have a lot of good pieces, and I think they're honestly pretty good chance. I'd say they are a contender.
Okay, so you think that they do have a chance at the Super Bowl?
I think they do.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna also agree with you. This is the first one I'm picking. I'm sorry that they are in your division. I have to do this, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going with the Chargers. I think Philip Rivers is kind of having that his year, just like Drew Brees is this year, and I think that they have a chance at catching the Chiefs. I like
Mhm.
Melvin Gordon. I like Keenan Allen. I like their entire defense. I think that after all these years of missed expectations, they're finally hitting on them, and they're finally getting it together. We'll see with the kicking game. It was kind of like the antithesis of what exactly the Chargers are. They always blow games at the end, and they always miss those late kicks. That's just what they're known for, but they finally did it last Sunday. So I think that they got the mojo going with them this season. So
Yeah. I, yeah,
yeah,
last night it was kind of interesting. I didn't get to watch it. I just heard that didn't they like miss two field goals, but the Steelers were offsides both
yeah,
times.
they literally were offsides so they tried three field goals. They missed the first two, and then they made the third one. And the Steelers were offsides all three times. So they tried to be the Chargers. They
Jeez.
tried.
Oh, see, lucky.
Dang it. So next up we have the Indianapolis Colts. As my co-host knows, I have a fan man crush on Andrew Luck. Okay, I wish he was my quarterback, even though we have Wentz and my buddy Foles. Andrew Luck's probably my favorite quarterback. So I'll start off. I'm gonna say I'm a believer in the Colts. I know they put up a terrible goose egg against the Jaguars and Jalen Ramsey on Sunday, but I'm gonna go with Indianapolis. I think that they got a chance at making some noise this January. I like their offense. I like their chance of making the playoffs.
Hmm. I'm gonna go opposite. I don't know.
Ooh,
I think maybe they're just like on a little high streak right now, but I don't think it's gonna be sustainable for them. Um, but maybe. I mean, I don't know because Luck, he's just getting back into his groove since he's been out so long with injury. So it's tough to say. So
okay.
I'm not sold.
All right. So you are out on the Colts. Does this have anything to do with the bad blood between Peyton Manning and this franchise?
No, negative. All is forgiven.
Okay. um, Next up we have the Seattle Seahawks. Now this is a team notorious for everybody thinking that they're rebuilding, but they don't care about that. They're back. Pete picked Russell over the defense that had a mutiny against Russell Wilson. So the Seahawks are back in the playoff hunt. They're 7-5. Andrew, what are your thoughts on the Seahawks?
I think their just whole organization is just they're not together. So even if they make the playoffs, I don't think zero chance that they win the Super Bowl. I
Oh,
mean,
complete zero.
just
They're
zero
done.
chance. Yeah. I mean, they can't get on the same page. They got like players that don't want to play with them. I don't know what's going on over there.
Okay, yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I'm going. I'm not a strong believer in the Seahawks. I think if they played the Rams, it'd be a 20-point game. If they met them in the playoffs, they're a tough out. They have that experience of being so historically good in the postseason. But as good as Russell Wilson is, I'm gonna be out on Seattle. Um, and then we
Yeah.
have a kicker team. All
What's
right, I
this?
didn't include this in the script that I sent you earlier today, but I thought why not add your Denver Broncos? They're 6-6. They have about a 55% chance of making the playoffs. So it was kind of dumb of me to even not even include this team for it. So Andrew, give me the rundown. You're our inside man on the Denver Broncos, reporting live from Colorado.
Yeah.
Um, tell the fans, give us the inside scoop on the Broncos. Tell us everything we need to know for this play, if they got a playoff push in them or not.
Yeah. So up to this point in the season, they haven't. Maybe the only like blowout loss they had was against the Jets, and the Jets are terrible. So that was just like a fluke. All the other games have been really, really close. They should have beat the Chiefs the first go round.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the game with the Rams. They were in again with the Chiefs. Um, so they've had a tough schedule, and they've been in every single game. But coming up here, I don't know. I'm trying to think who they play. Aside from the Chargers last game of the year, they don't play anybody with a winning record. So I think they have a good chance to win the rest of their games going into the Chargers game, the final game of the year.
Yeah, it looks like they
That
have
game,
the Niners this week, the Browns next week, and the Raiders the week after. So that looks like the three worst teams in the NFL they're playing. The top three
right.
picks in next year's draft.
Exactly. So I think they have a good chance to beat all three of those teams. And then going into this Chargers game, I mean it definitely could come down to the game like if you win that game, you're in the playoffs. So they have a pretty good chance of getting themselves in a position there. But even, I'm just going to stay very unbiased. Even if they make it in the playoffs, it's going to be hard, I think, to
Oh,
get to the Super Bowl just because they have some injuries. They got a lot of rookies they're leaning on. I mean, there's a lot of variables. So it's kind of like, I don't know if I'll be able to take it to the bank, but I still think they have a good chance to make the playoffs.
okay. So so you've had 0% with the Seahawks. What are your odds for the Broncos of making the Super Bowl?
Making the Super Bowl? Okay, so they're going to have to go through the Patriots.
Likely the Patriots or maybe even the Chiefs round one.
Yeah, it's tough to say if the Chiefs are they gonna start going downhill because they got rid of Kareem Hunt. We don't know. Probably not too far, but like I said, they already played them twice and they should have beat them the first time. So I think the Chiefs not a big concern. The Patriots that might be a bigger concern. So I give them probably a 30% chance.
Oh, wow. A 30%. That sounds like you're pretty confident
Yeah,
of
making
making the Super Bowl.
30%.
I
Yeah,
like it.
sounds about right.
Yeah, you have to be if you're a fan. I mean, why
Yeah.
not? They made the Super Bowl 2 years ago. They're going to be back. They got all the experience. Um, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm in on the Broncos. I think just because of their easy schedule, they're gonna go 10-6, maybe 9-7. Case Keenum, what are your thoughts on Case? I don't think we really covered him. We'll cover this
Yeah.
really quickly.
Um, so beginning of the year, I was not like a fan of Case. I was like, man, he's like already thrown more interceptions this year than he did all last year. And I
Hmm.
don't know. I think he's just like probably a new playbook and playing system and all that. It just took a little while to get used to. But the past couple games, he's led some game-winning drives in the fourth quarter. So I think they're starting to click on all their cylinders. So starting to like him more and more.
Okay. Do you think he's the quarterback of the future for Denver?
Ooh, well, we'll see how this season goes.
Okay. Okay. So 30. If they make that Super Bowl, then you'll be in.
Well, if they make the Super Bowl, then guaranteed they'll
Guaranteed.
keep riding it. But yeah, I think maybe they'll probably draft a quarterback no matter what.
Okay. Is Paxton Lynch off the roster?
He is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Um,
So
so I am also, like I said, I'm in on the Broncos. I think that they can make some noise. They're going to go up against maybe the Chiefs round one, and they've played them tough the first time, and
hmm
they beat them the second time.
well, no, they lost again, but they should have beat them the first time.
Okay, yeah, they should have been, they should have beat them the first time. So just for that, every time you play a team three times, I always say it's tough in the NFL. They won the QB carousel of Kirk Cousins and Case Keenum and Alex Smith, if you ask me. So the Broncos, I think that I'm going to say that they have a 3% chance of making the Super Bowl, not a 30%.
A
A
3% chance.
3% chance
Okay.
of making the Super Bowl. So they got a chance. They're a contender.
That's better than 0.
Okay, so that will conclude this segment of Pretender Contender. Andrew, I thank you very much for joining me today. It's been a long time of trying to get this in the works, so I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, thanks for being patient and glad we could connect.
All right. All right, and welcome back to the First and 20 NFL podcast. I hope you enjoyed that segment with me and Andrew. Andrew was a terrific guest, and I thank him. If not, check out his YouTube channel at youtube.com/MoreJStu or youtube.com/JStuStudios. But speaking of honorable guests tonight, as always, I'm joined by the legend, Matt. Give the people a word or two. I think they miss you.
I prefer the title "The Man, the Myth" to the legend. To be honest with you.
Okay.
I'll take both, not separately. Both. It has to be the man and the myth.
All right. So I've written that down for next week. Today we're gonna keep a little bit shorter since that we just did 20 minutes with Andrew. So we're gonna stick to basically pick the line, and we might have time for either predictions on the postseason, or we will each state our case for the NFC East and who we think's gonna win. Matt, you've been giving the Redskins good luck with that. All right, so do you want to get right into the line?
Sure.
The lines? All right. Hold on. I feel like we didn't introduce you well enough. Is there anything notable that's been going on with you lately?
The Patriots didn't lose, so I haven't shot myself yet. Not really, no. To be honest with you, I just been hanging out. I had a nice Thanksgiving was before that. I got a foot surgery. I've been sitting a lot. That's about it. Why?
Man, I don't know. I just feel like it was a bit of a rushed introduction, so I just want to make sure you got your fair due.
Oh, thank you. No, there's not much of a fair due to be had. But yeah, let's get right into it.
Okay. So Thursday night football. We got 3 more weeks of it. We have the classic Thursday night game, Jacksonville at Tennessee. This is textbook Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee is home against Jacksonville, and they are the 4-point favorites. Matt, will you be tuning into this game?
If it's on and I'm home, sure.
Okay.
It's not going to be a great one, but
it's football. And
it is watchable.
I would say
football.
we are greater than casual fans at this point. We're in too deep to not be watching this game, even though our time probably could be better spent elsewhere. So 4 is the line. Tennessee is favored. I have students who I do my pick the line game with, actually. And we just rack up whoever does better wins. It's not like there's anything too crazy behind it, but I believe I picked Jacksonville. I'm a stern believer in the bounce back game. No, never mind. I'm not going with my theory for this. I definitely picked Tennessee because Tennessee always does well against teams who are falling, who aren't doing too well, and they always get blown out against good teams from what I've seen this season. So I'm going to go with Tennessee. I think it'll be a blowout. Give me Tennessee by 24.
I mean, Tennessee did beat a Patriots team who was on a nice little win streak. But 4 is a lot for the Tennessee Titans. A lot of weeks, especially against a team like Jacksonville. They can play close. I'm going to take Jacksonville in this. I don't like them. I don't think they're going to win, but I think it's a 3-point game.
Okay. You want to jot that one down?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will introduce the next one. Skip the Eagles for the next one. That's just there because they're my favorite team. So this is the Jets versus the Bills. Bills are home, and I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Tickets are only $6 for this game. So if you're in the surrounding Buffalo area like me, you can go to this game. Matt, I'm going to tell you something else. I'm actually going to be going to this game.
Oh, really?
Yes. I've welded the helmet together to be double platted. So I don't get a concussion from an Aaron Sam Darnold throw or
Mhm.
Aaron Josh Allen 20-yard run into the crowd. So Buffalo, it's looking like it's going to be a cold day in Buffalo. They are favored by 3.5 at home. What's your take on this one?
To start, I would like to mention that the tickets, as advertised on the site, are actually not the price. I've looked it up.
Oh, you consider
Soul
going?
crushing. I consider going to another game, and it was soul crushingly much more expensive. Those are the parking pass prices. Yeah,
They got us again.
ESPN, you sly bastards. Nah, it was like $270 instead of like 70 for a game I was looking at. So, God, Buffalo, because they have a good enough defense and they seem to be picking up some type of steam or something.
Yeah, this is going to be the one where I think everybody's going to be on Buffalo and they end up losing, but I too am going to be on Buffalo 3.5. I think the home crowd gets them going too much. Josh Allen's gaining more confidence and their defense is pretty competent. So I'll go with Buffalo.
All right.
I guess we'll just do the Eagles since we'll probably forget. They're next. They're not at 1 o'clock game. They're the primetime game of the week on Fox at 4:25. This is the game for first place. They are visiting Dallas. Dallas is a 3.5-point favorite. Winner of this takes sole possession of first place.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, what is your take?
Dallas did beat the Eagles at the Meadowlands. Not the Meadowlands,
The
at
link.
the link.
Yes.
And I get the feeling that the Eagles are going to beat Dallas here. I got a gut feeling that they have Dallas has momentum. The Eagles do too. And man, I don't know. Pick the Eagles. Whatever. Fine.
This line is kind of interesting. It kind of goes to show how much momentum the Cowboys actually have. The Eagles have been getting more points than they deserve all season long, and to see them be a 4-point underdog is a bit surprising. So that is a testament to Dallas's momentum and defense and that rookie that's lighting the world ablaze. What's his name? Van Elschreich or something?
Vander Esch.
Vander Esch, yeah. He's like a Sean Lee .2 from what I'm hearing, 2.0. But as you know, we keep it biased here on the NFL First and 20 podcast, so I will be taking Philadelphia plus 3.5.
Okay.
The Super Bowl champions. Might I add.
Yeah, same pick. Okay. On a note, did we keep track of who won last week and who gets credit for those wins?
I will do some investigating on my end if you want to introduce this game.
I would like to say briefly, unlike Michael Irvin, will not take credit for the fact that I picked a team that I did not. But I will say that I picked the Cowboys, or I said the Cowboys can stop teams. They can be the team that stops the hype. I'm not going to be Michael Irvin and go up and down screaming, "I did it! I believed the whole time" when I picked against them. Like, come on, dude. Come on. But, hey, it was a thing. It was a good one for them. Good for them. They suck. Their fans really aren't that great, except for my boy David, my boss. He's a really nice guy, and he's a Cowboys fan. Shout out to David, and I know you're not listening, David. So next up we had the Panthers and the Browns. The Browns are at home, but Carolina is favored by 1.5 points. Wow, Darius, what is your take on this?
I'm still counting up the points from last week. What you said? Panthers, Browns.
Panthers, Browns. Panthers are 1.5 away.
Yeah, definitely give me Carolina. The Browns are one of the worst teams in the NFL. I'm back on this train after them They lost last week, right? No.
Sure, probably.
I don't want to get this wrong, so I'm gonna look that up. I'm pretty sure that they lost by a lot. Yeah, they lost 29-13 to the Texans.
Oh, yeah, it was that one.
I'm back on the train. Browns are bad. Baker Mayfield's overrated. I don't like the whole barstool culture that he implements and embodies. Um, Give me the Panthers -1.5. This is a must-win game for them. I understand the Browns are at home, but this is a game Cam Newton has enough experience to step up for.
Twist, Browns, always Browns. Always Browns.
I would have never
Listen,
guessed.
I mean, I'm from the Barstool culture. We are the origin of Barstool culture in Boston, so, gotta pick it. Gotta pick the Browns. Stay with the Browns forever. Gotta love them. Gotta have a sense of humor in life. I guess an honorary Browns fan or something at this point. I get excited for them. I like them. 2 years ago, I did a whole graph where I mapped out how they're trading their picks and how it can work out for them. And my friend made fun of me for years. I said, no, they're going to do it. They have the plan. And they got 2 top 5 picks, and both of them have turned out pretty well so far. Baker Mayfield is getting better in terms of quarterbacking. He's talking more trash, which isn't great. But from a dude who grabbed his nuts, that's what I expected. Denzel Ward's really good. So, that's just a thing that is existing. Next up, though, we had the Falcons and the Packers. In Lambeau, Green Bay is favored 5.5 against the Falcons. Darius, if you're still tallying, I'll take it.
No. I won last week, 3-2. I think Jason destroyed all of us, so thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jason. Woo.
Yeah, 3-2 I beat you. So another week. So Falcons, Packers. Packers are still somehow favored. Period. They don't have a head coach. They have a Mike McCarthy tree line coming in to take over the helm. So maybe that'll spark some fire on them. Maybe it will make things even worse. I'll take Atlanta. And fun fact, Julio Jones is actually leading the NFL in receiving yards as we speak, despite their 4-8 record.
Because he doesn't score, but he racks up yards. Sarkisian has no idea how to get him into an end zone. For me, this is pretty easy. Falcons are a more competitive team. Green Bay sucks. Right. Gotta love Green Bay. Great history. Great franchise. They have Aaron Rodgers, who's not the best quarterback ever, but is still an insanely talented quarterback. He's one of the most skilled and athletic quarterbacks. I would never show tape on him and say you need to imitate this to like a young kid trying to become a quarterback, but he makes it work, and he is just great. There are a lot of things you can say against him. There are obviously a lot of ticks against him, and a lot of different takes and things you can knock him for. But man's a legend. But just because he's a legend doesn't mean he'll beat the Falcons and pull out this weird spread. That's that for me. Next up, we have the Ravens at the Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 6.5 points, a little bit less than a touchdown. Who do you have, Darius?
I'm gonna agree. I think you might have been degrading Aaron Rodgers' legacy for your own selfish reasons, but I will say Tom Brady has won a few rings. But Chiefs, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Chiefs and Ravens. Ravens are on the road at Kansas City. Chiefs are a 6.5 point favorite. I'm going to take Kansas City. I feel like this is one of the games that once Baltimore's down 10-0 early, there's no coming back for them. They just don't have enough momentum. So I think that this will be a blowout in the Chiefs' favor. So I'll take them.
Interesting. Yeah, I think the Ravens can keep it a little competitive. I mean, I'll take them. Take note of that. I say, screw it. Let's pick the Ravens. Let's make it a little bit more fun. And also, while you're at it, make note of the Panthers-Browns fight that we had. A little disagreement. And did we disagree on Falcons-Packers? I think we did.
No, we both took Atlanta.
Yeah, that's true.
We're both low on Aaron Rodgers right now. Well, you always are.
I'm not low on him. I think he's the second best quarterback in the league. It's just, how many big games does he win? Not even playoff games, just like big, important games. Gonna find the answer isn't a ton. And he's always had really awesome receivers. Jordy Nelson, I'm looking at you. Devontae Adams developing into something good. I'm looking at you. It's all right. Whatever you want to fight about it, you still gotta acknowledge the dude has talent. It's just like impossible to ignore. I just think we shouldn't be lobbing greatest of all time onto a guy who doesn't do as much as other quarterbacks in his era. Who doesn't win as much. It's just a weird thing to me. Either way, moving on. My God. What is this? It's the Abomination Bowl. Patriots are in Miami, where they've played well never, ever in the history of the world, but they're favored 7.5 points. And I'll take the Patriots, but if they lose this, it's not a complete surprise. They never play well in Miami. It's a game to lose. This happens. Like, I don't know what to say.
I think you're nervous.
No, I'm not nervous. I'm just angry that it's just something we can't do. It's like,
It's like the mental block. It's like when you go up to a free throw and you made the last 100, but when a bunch of NBA scouts come and look at you, you're gonna miss the first 3.
yeah, it's just like, why is this there? Where is there this one minor thing we just can't do?
It really is. Over the course
Everyone
of those
says-
last 14 years, and the Dolphins were the one who won the division that one time, right?
I think so. And, might have been the Jets. But it's just the fact that everyone's like, oh, the Patriots go 6-0 in their division. I'm like, we go 5-1 because infuriatingly, we just don't win there. I don't get it.
Okay. I'll
I'll
comment
take the
on
Patriots.
this. You're taking the Patriots. Do I want to be a sheep and just go by the blindness of history and say that they always struggle at Miami, even though Miami is 4-5-1 right now?
You should. They have Xavier Howard.
All right, you've convinced me. I will be taking Miami, but I do think New England will win, as they are my Super Bowl pick.
Ooh.
Next up, we have the lowly Saints visiting the high-flying Fitzmagic Buccaneers.
Wow. 8
Matt.
points.
The Saints are favored? No. Okay. Can the Saints rebound this week at Tampa Bay? They are an 8-point favorite. Matt, I'm going to throw this one right at you.
I feel like making a rebound joke about hitting on someone that's like not as attractive or something is too easy. But yes,
I want to hear that. Quickly.
the Saints and the Buccaneers is going to be like hitting on a 300-pound girl at the bar after someone like really beautiful that like after the love of your life breaks up with you. It's going to be easy. It's going to be quick. You're not going to be proud of it, but you're going to get something done.
I like that you're not going to be proud of it. Yeah, any win
Not
in
gonna be
Tampa
proud.
Bay,
It's gonna be-
any win in Tampa Bay, you're typically not going to be very proud of.
Everyone's just going to be like, how hard was it, though? How really hard was that? It's like fat girls on Tinder, man. It's just like...
They always break your heart, though. Those Tampa Bay Buccaneers are pesky.
Sometimes. They got them at the beginning of the year, so I doubt they'll get them again. Especially now that they lost their momentum.
So shout out to my friend Connor, or Kono is his name. So he's currently living in Orlando, lifelong Buccaneers fan, lifelong of just misery and torture, of angry Facebook posts by him and screaming at the TV, just at Lovie Smith and Josh Freeman, etc., etc. I love seeing the Buccaneers being bad, just so Connor's unhappy. He lives for the NFL. He lives for Tampa Bay. He literally went down to college pretty much just for them down in Orlando. So
So brutal.
I'm going to honor Connor here, and I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. I think that they're pesky. I like that they can get a ton of yards. I understand that Winston is the future face of the 2020 XFL. But I think I think that they'll keep the momentum going, and the Saints will
I
drop
think
another one. I think the
this is
Buccaneers will win
his
straight up.
this is his his swan song of an NFL performance. This is his
Yes.
last decent NFL performance.
I'm
Okay,
gonna go
okay.
with that. This game interests me. Although I'll be at the Bills game, I'll be looking at this one intently. I want to see what Jameis is gonna do, and I want to see. This is a big game for the Buccaneers. They're not officially out of the playoff race. They're 5-7. If they win out, there's a road. This is a must-win, obviously, but they're only a game out of the playoffs right now. Game and a half
Ooh.
out.
Also, shout out to Dirk Coder. I recently did some research into NFL coaching trees. He's the only one with no link to
Wow.
any coaching tree. Yeah, he's the only head coach
Did not know.
out of 32 teams. Everyone else has like some link to Schottenheimer, Parcells, Gruden, Shanahan, Reed. Nope, not him. He just shows up. Shows up to work. Built himself up.
All right. We will speed this up a tad.
Mhm.
We have the two more 1 o'clock games. We have the Giants visiting the Redskins. The Giants are at the Redskins, and they're getting 3.5 points. The New York Giants. What is going on, Matt? Who are you
Mark
taking
Sanchez.
here?
Mark
That's
Sanchez is
right.
going on.
Mark
Yeah.
Sanchez is going on. That
Redskins are going to
makes
pull out
sense.
dirty one. Redskins are going to pull it out real dirty.
Oh, you're going with Washington?
Why not? They have a running back enough, at least. Achy breaky Adrian is pretty old, but you know.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'll go with Washington, too, just because I don't like the Giants. And the Eagles came back from 31-7 against them, and they won.
Yeah, fair. All right, next up. The Colts at the Texans. Houston's favored by 4.5 points. They are red hot right now. The Colts are coming off of a kind of a sad loss to the Jaguars. Who do you got, Darius?
You take this one. I'm gonna think about it a little bit more.
You know what? Let's pick the Colts. I think they're a good enough team. I think they can bounce back, and Texans' luck has to run out eventually. They don't just stay like this forever.
I'm gonna copy and paste your answer. That's my thinking exactly. Texans are finally gonna drop one. As you know, I wish Andrew Luck was my quarterback, especially since Wentz is starting rather than Foles. It goes Foles 1A, Luck 1B. Everybody else is there. Or Josh Johnson's probably 2. But give me the Colts. I'm a big Colts believer. I think they'll make the playoffs.
All right.
Next up, we have from Carson, California, at the StubHub Center, the tanking, melting snowman that is the Cincinnati Bengals visiting the red-hot San Diego Superchargers, who are playing now in Los Angeles and are representing the city. Los Angeles is a 14-point favorite.
Ooh, really? Wow. Wow. That's a lot of points. Just the Bengals. I think the Chargers are going to win, but it's going to be closer than that. My God, 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, that's goes to show how the Bengals have been playing of late.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Wow. What a thing to do. Okay. What are you thinking, Darius?
I'm definitely going with the Charger. I think the Bengals are in full tank mode. Hugh Jackson's brought his presence all over this team. They don't have AJ Green. They've been getting obliterated recently. They lost by 2 touchdowns to the Broncos last week, who are always a one-possession team. Give me the Chargers in a big one.
Wow.
38-10 territory.
Okie doke. That's your thing. Okay. You do it.
Yeah, I'm good. Next up we have speaking of which, the Denver Broncos visiting the San Francisco 49ers. The Broncos are a 5.5-point favorite.
All right. Jeez. Denver Broncos. It's just, yeah, the Broncos. Why not?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Broncos as well. Me and Andrew touched upon the Broncos a lot, actually, since he's from Colorado. But I think the 49ers are one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst. I'm going to label them the worst. Sorry, Cleveland. Your spot was taken. The Niners are bad.
Richard
Broncos.
Sherman would be infuriated with you right now. He'd be very angry.
Somehow 49ers are only 2-3 at home, even though they've played 12 games. I guess that makes sense enough.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, give me Denver. Next up we have two of the largest franchises, or two of the largest fan bases in the league. The Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the Oakland Raiders. The Steelers are an 11-point favorite here on the road. Wow.
Really? On the road?
Yeah, on the road again. So I'm going to pick Oakland here. I think they've been playing better football. They haven't been winning, but they've been putting together some closer games, and 11 points a lot. Like I say, the Raiders could just up and win this. NFL's crazy, especially in December. Yeah, I'll go with the Raiders for the points. I think the Steelers will win, obviously, but give me Oakland.
I agree. Oakland. It's just, it can be a closer game than they're giving it credit for.
Next up, we have the only time anybody's going to be watching this either if you're at the State Farm Stadium in Glendale or if you are watching NFL Red Zone. This is the 4-8 Detroit Lions visiting the 3-9 Arizona Cardinals, who are now without Paul Goldschmidt. Detroit is 2.5-point favorites on the road. Matt, are they disrespecting the Cardinals here?
That was a simultaneous shout-out if I've ever heard one. The team that got him and the team that traded him are both in that joke. Yeah, let's pick the Lions. This Cardinals team is a joke. I mean, they just show up. They
beat the Packers.
They beat the Packers. They beat the Packers. And what?
Are you mocking Cardinals fans right now or me? Because I hope you're not picking on these poor fan base.
You'd rather I mocked you.
Yes. These guys have enough going on for them. They have the Suns, the Cardinals. All they get Super Bowls and college football playoff championships, Matt. Come on. And it's hot weather. These poor people. They have the Suns.
Dude,
for lemon's sake.
I mean, no. This isn't a great team. They have Josh Rosen. They have David Johnson. They have talent. They have hope for the future. They have Chandler Jones. This is not the team that is ready yet, though. They're kind of a joke right now. Sorry, guys. There is hope. There's a reason on the horizon. You have Pro Bowlers. You have young, promising players. But young, promising players do not make you better than... What is it? 3-9? 3-9.
3-9. So I will be picking the Cardinals fans just for you, Arizona. You're on my good side right now. I'm going with Arizona. I think that this is going to be one of those classic 12-point games for Matt Stafford where people just scratch their head and wonder why he's getting paid 10 figures.
Ooh, all right.
So give me 10 figures and 9 figures, 10 figures, 8 figures. I don't know. No, it's he's getting paid more than 100 mil, right? So 9 figures.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I will be going with Arizona. So I'll write that one in. You can introduce the next one.
The next matchup will be the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know if I've heard about that team much this year, so I don't know if they're good or not. Versus the Chicago Bears. The Rams are favored by 3 in Chicago. I don't really know why. I don't hear much about these teams going on. I'm going to pick Chicago only because they're a tough team. I think young Mitchell will show up and be a boy. And I think Jared Goff is ahead of him, and they'll probably win. But, it's a thing.
Yeah.
This will be a game. This will be the game.
You are going with the Rams?
Yeah.
Okay, so, Chicago, Los Angeles, never heard of either of these cities.
Yeah, that's just, I've never heard of them. It's kind of weird that they're around, mentioned,
Yeah, they're near Green Bay. Anyway, so I will pick the Rams here as well. Definitely the Bears, they got a defense. They got a semi-competent offense. You picked them to make the Super Bowl. I don't think they'll get out of the first round. So our picks vary there. But I will be going with the Rams. That was a great pick by you.
Thank you. Wow. Vikings Seahawks next matchup. Seahawks are favored by 3.5 on the Monday night matchup. In Seattle, Vikings are coming off a loss to the New England Patriots. Tough matchup for them in New England. What's your take on this,
I don't
Darius?
see any way that the Vikings are going to win this game. I mean, they have no momentum. They have 190-yard passing Kirk Cousins per game.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks are red hot. They're home. They have a hockey team now. They're electrified. This is like just based on karma and momentum. There is no path that the Vikings can win this game. This is the lock of the day.
This is it. This is your big lock.
This is the lock.
Wow. That's it. You heard it here. I don't know, man. This is I picked Seattle to get there too. I like Seattle a lot. And yeah, you know what? Vikings are a good team, but they just have failed to cease momentum in this, you know? They haven't been able to just do anything. It's weird.
Yeah.
Why?
It's odd. They've got a good defense. They're kind of being the Eagles are 2.0 of 2018. Strange times. So that concludes the pick the lines. Really quick, I guess we'll do an AFC NFC Championship game predictions.
Ooh.
Matt, I don't know if this is gonna. Do you want to keep our Super Bowl picks? Are you still confident in Seahawks Bears after Week 13?
Both teams performed. The Bears didn't have like their starter, so you know that's a thing that happened. But the Seahawks did well enough. Yeah, I'm confident enough.
Wow. So I guess we just have to add two teams then. We obviously know who are two representatives, so we will give our title game picks. And I will say that I think it's going to be Patriots-Chiefs in the AFC. Going to keep it cookie cutter enough. And in the NFC, I will be picking the LA Rams versus the Philadelphia Eagles, with obviously Eagles-Patriots rematch.
I think
I
probably
picked the Rams last week, so I guess I've gained even more confidence in the Eagles. Eagles-Patriots, we're doing a rematch. That's my new pick. That's my new hot take.
can't go 2 for 2, dude. Can't go 2
No.
for 2.
Easy.
I say Rams Bears title game. Maybe Seahawks Rams, something like that. Just two teams that are good getting up there. I don't know, the Vikings have kind of dropped
Wait a second.
down.
Wait a
Yes.
second. Matt,
Yeah.
you know that the Seahawks and Bears are in the same conference, right?
I said title, like a championship game.
No, like you picked those two teams last week for the Super Bowl.
No, they aren't. Seahawks are in the West.
They're both in the NFC.
I said the Patriots are going to make it, and one of those two
Last
teams.
week you picked Bears Seahawks for your
I
Super
said
Bowl.
Bears or
Are you
Seahawks,
amending
NFC.
this?
I said Bears or Seahawks for the NFC. I didn't say they're both going to go. I said one of the two of them. I said the Bears is my main pick. Seahawks is kind of a dark horse pick for the NFC. I think I made a big speech probably about the Patriots to start it. I usually do.
Okay, so my bad. So we don't need to amend that pick. So
Yeah.
you are saying Patriots versus who in the AFC?
Patriots versus let's say the Bears. Again, let's just stick with it. Stick to the guns. Never quit. Never quit.
All right. So there you have it, folks. This will conclude our Week 14 podcast. We only have only a handful of these left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you're still listening, thank you. And other than that, I guess that will conclude this week's episode. And again, we thank you if you're still with us, because wow.
What a time. What a run. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited always to talk football. Have a good night, everyone.